The Charlie Rymer Golf Show, starring Charlie Rymer. Hey, okay, let's pick up the tempo.
Charlie Rymer here, and welcome to my new show, where we do things my way. As a former golf pro and media personality, I know golf. But this isn't going to be your grandfather's golf show. I'm bringing you conversations with celebs and golf greats, getting off the course and out on the water, and even getting into some good eats. This is the Charlie Rymer Golf Show. Keep it in the fairway, folks. Today at TPC Myrtle Beach, Sir Nick Faldo, World Golf Hall of Fame member, is riding with Rymer. Well, Sir Nick, you've won the Masters 3 times, you've won the Open Championship 3 times, but you've never gone riding with Rymer. Are you ready?
I'm ready and willing, sir. My goodness, take me forth.
I want to talk to you about your ties to South Carolina. Your first PGA Tour win came to South Carolina, just down the road, 1984 in Harbortown. You gotta like South Carolina. What do you remember about that first win?
So we drove down to Hilton Head, and I said to myself, this is Monte Carlo or bust this week. I'm either gonna win, I said, or I'm gonna miss the cut. And that's how I played. Just complete, I thought, because we knew we were going home after that anyway. So it's like it was the last tournament of the run. You're now going to fly back to England. So I held on and won, and so it was a great feeling.
Well, let's stay in South Carolina as we go down memory lane and skip forward a few years to 1991, the War by the Shore at Kiowa. But I want to talk about that. The European team didn't win that year, but that's when everything changed, because since then, the record is 9-4 Europe over US. When you look back to 1991. Did everything change?
Yeah, it was a rough week. You know, we'd won obviously 85, 87, halved 89. So America's now gone, what's that, 6 years without. You know, and then obviously it was the first time we'd ever played when, hey, the fans were really pulling, and we'd go on the green and people would be going, 3-putt, 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 trying to sow some seeds in your head. So it got pretty intense, and then we went for the famous opening dinner, and I guess he's the senator, is he, or something? He walked past our table to go and welcome the 2 tables, American teams, then walked back past us and doesn't welcome us, you see. And then they showed, now we're going to show you a film of past Ryder Cup. So I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be good. And then we're watching, and the only Brit they showed was Tony putting his arm around Jack, you know, from the famous concession. They didn't show one then, we now Europeans, didn't show us not one shot. So we were livid. I mean, Gallagher had to literally nail us to our chairs, because it was like, you imagine Sev, we're out with it.
He's ready to take off, isn't he?
It only took, we were half a second away from down tools, down knives and fork, and heading out. So it was the first one that really added a bit of, you know, off-course spice, antics, whatever you called it. But the golf was amazing. I had a horrendous time because I was playing lousy that week. And so, you know, the Ryder Cup is fantastic if you're playing great. You can't wait to get a partner and go and play. Nothing better. If you're playing badly, it's the worst week of your life. And you've got to go out there and play, and you're knowing that, oh, God, you can't let the team down. All you can give is 100%. But, you know, even your 100% is golfing-wise not good enough. So I said, look, don't play me. And I went and practiced all afternoon, Saturday afternoon, the best I could with Led. David Ledbetter was there. Of course, I got slated for that because I wasn't out supporting the team. You go to win or lose, and it doesn't matter how close it is, boy, does it hurt. That's the long-winded version of how I got started. Are we still on the same course?
Yeah, we're doing great.
So I remember it so well, just like it was yesterday. In 1986, we played together at Torrey Pines.
96.
I remember it really, really well from 96. Oh, was it really 96? So that was early, spring season. Okay.
Yeah.
You hit it in the left-hand bunker, number 12. And you hit a dreadful bunker shot, I have to say. So I'm going to give you a lesson, and 25 years later. If you're new to golf, and you want to learn how to bunker shots, put a line in the sand, right? And put it somewhere in your left foot. Just get comfortable. Open the face and get the thing pointing at your belly. Really important. Let the face open first and then grip it. So even if your grip's a bit funky, at least your face is open. Okay, that's it. And then you learn, really simple, right shoulder to the sky, gives you that. And then right thumb to the sky, gives you a bit of that. Sky, sky. And then you learn to find the line. Yeah, you've got to strike the sand at the same place, haven't you, in a bunker shot.
Practice with the line, no ball there first.
I call it find the line. So you look, I'm whacking the line quite nicely. So that gives you the confidence that I'm unwinding my chest and arms correctly. You get nervous, you go fast with your arms, don't you? So alignment on a bunker shot is, again, very important. So I was doing this the other day, and so how simple. So I just drew a line for the ball at the flag, okay, as my target line. That's pointing at the flag. So, of course, when you come stand here and look at it, that line is 6 feet right. So you see how we've already messed up? Because we're standing here, it doesn't, well, you know it's correct. Come back and go, it is absolutely, literally within 6 inches of quick get, there you go. So I know that is straight. Now I've got to open up the face. Now you can actually see what open really is, because that's a tough thing when you look at that and say open it. People cannot believe how much we open the club face. So crank it, it's open. Look, I can see it's going right to the line, so it must be correct. Same deal, shoulder up, thumb here. Now guess what? It's
Dead on line.
Simple as that.
Okay, so let me tell you a story.
Okay.
So people sometimes will say, hey, you spent a little time with Nick Faldo, you've worked with him. How is he? Because he's like the Iceman and fierce and Ben Hogan and never talked to anybody, all that. And I said, let me tell you about Nick Faldo. When I moved to Orlando, my wife and I did with my kids, and you might not even remember this.
I invited you over, yeah.
And you ran into me, and we were coming in, and you go, hey, welcome to Golf Channel. I live here in Orlando, and I know you're new to the area. I'm having in 10 days a Christmas party. Won't you and your wife pop by? Yeah. But the stories that I hear about Nick Faldo versus my time that I've spent with you, it's 180. So my question is, for you, when you were busy winning your 6 majors, did you just have to turn into somebody else? Is that what you had to do to go out and win?
No, not totally. Growing up in Britain in the 70s and 80s, the media was really pretty harsh, and nothing could be checked. So the good and bad thing about modern time now is, media comes out on your phone, and you can see what's written about you, and you can literally correct it right there and then. And so way back, you couldn't do that. Yeah. It would be in the paper, it'd be in the northern edition of something. Somebody would write something about me, and hey, the bottom line, I think, with the media was it was a good guy with Sandy Lyon, and they wanted a bad guy, and I became the bad guy. And I strongly feel that there's 2 sides to every story, and you can make somebody look good and you can make somebody look bad. And so they intentionally wanted to make me look bad. Hey, I'm not going to defend myself. I'm sure at times I was an arse and said and did the wrong thing. I was extremely motivated or dedicated. I wasn't one of the lads, so that got me a black mark straight away. All the guys would play on tour, go to the bar. I went to the practice.
Right, and you were having a lot of success too.
I stayed as an individual. So again, it's the things that influence you. I'm an only child. As I said, I left school. I stood on the practice ground, beat balls on my own. I was happy as a sandboy. So all those things influence you, and you have a vision of what you want to do and how you're going to do it. And so yes, I had a focus, and some people can misconstrue your focus to be in, arrogant or rude or cold. So,
they don't get the whole story.
But if you write that and nothing gets checked, because back in those days they used to say, there ain't no smoke without fire. Even my dad said, I said, Dad, that did not happen. He said, and even my dad didn't believe me. I didn't do that, Dad. I never forget. I said, so we went through an era of that 70s and 80s where the media would make stuff up with the knowledge I had then. I played with blinkers on, head down, as I describe it, and I'm driven. So, hey, if I offended people along the way, I apologize, but it was the only way I knew how to be a professional golfer and try and get the job done each week. And if I played badly, I was pissed off at myself, or, you know, so, and that can come across, people can take it.
Well, don't you think that your style of play, which was relentless perfection, was this intense focus, and you would let your competitors fold? That seems to me like that sort of feeds the whole narrative that maybe the media had about you, your style of play.
Oh yeah, well, I said to myself, I'm going to commit 100%. I'm an athlete with a window of opportunity, aren't you? And I said to myself, I'm not going to get to 45 and regret that I didn't give it my best. So that was my way of giving my best. I mean, so, hey, if I trod on people's toes, I'm sorry. You know, I'm actually a silly ass. I love being a silly ass. My biggest, I get all emotional because my biggest thrill is being a silly ass with my daughters. You know, I just want them to think, what a stupid, fun dad have I got. So, you know.
To them, you're not Sir Nick, the World Golf Hall of Fame member, 6-time major champion. You're Dad, and Dad likes to have a lot of fun.
I like to make them laugh so hard they can't breathe. That's my best treat.
Hearing you talk and get emotional, that reminds me that, to me, golf is played from the heart. And professionals aren't robots, and we laugh and we cry and we feel, and it's not a video game.
Why do all the guys cry when they win? I mean, look at them all, because you give your life to it. I have the greatest admiration, and look at all these scientists through COVID. That takes real courage. It's not doing something and instantly pick the frickin' cherry off the bloody tree, isn't it? It's the people that do something and fail and learn.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great example of learning to fail to succeed.
We gotta head to break, but when we come back, I got a little surprise for Sir Nick. So, Nick, from one thing that you have to deal with a lot of failure with, golf, to something else that you and I both love, fly fishing.
Oh, yeah.
I got a 7-weight in here. You want to see if we can catch a bass over here?
Well, we got to catch him.
This is a special rod for me. I actually inherited this from my dad, and I was going to see if you'd cast it for me a little bit.
Sheesh. What is it, 7-weight, you said?
7-weight. Hopefully we'll get something we need a 7-weight on.
So did your dad have a lot of rods, or did he?
He did, yeah. I'd probably maybe 10 or 12 rods I inherited from him. Hoping to give them to my kids.
Ha! I still have, I think I was 10. Was I 10 when I started fishing? I still have the rod my dad bought me. I got the 2 rods that my dad, yeah.
There's something about fishing and golf and dads and special time, things you remember your whole life.
Got to stop at the top.
Yeah,
there you go. There you go, it's a bit better.
Yeah, that's a great cast right there. Sir Nick, I appreciate your time.
Hey,
thank you for riding with Rymer.
Good to be with you, my friend.
We're going to take a quick break from the Charlie Rymer Golf Show. Stick around, folks. Welcome back to the Charlie Rymer Golf Show. Let's get back to business, folks. Hi, and welcome into the Charlie Rymer podcast, where we talk golf, life, and pretty much anything I want to talk because, hey, it's my show. Today, we're going to the top, folks. We got Super Bowl III MVP, Pro Football Hall of Fame member, and one of the most popular athletes in the history of the world, Joe Namath. Joe, we're thrilled to have you on the Charlie Rymer podcast. Thanks for taking time out of your schedule to make some time for us.
Well, Charlie, it's an honor. I thank you for having me, man. I have watched your show. I've seen a couple of them, and I get tickled, and I'm enthused to work with you.
Oh, well, we really, really appreciate it. And I got to get to the most important question first. How's your golf game right now, Joe?
At its worst.
No
At
way.
its worst that I've ever played. Yes, it's frustrating. I'm disappointed. I could blame some of it on some minor details like wrists, fingers, hands, but it's the swing. I stink.
Are you still having fun playing?
I love it. I love golf. It's been a passion. I started out, Charlie, as a caddy back home in Pennsylvania. And our caddy master was the first caddy master at Latrobe for Arnold Palmer.
Oh, wow.
There too. But my older brothers caddied, and I ended up caddying, and that's how I learned the etiquette and the rules of golf.
How much did you charge for a loop, Joe? What was your fee?
9 holes was $1.50.
But talk to me a little bit about going to high school just outside of Pittsburgh, the cultural change of where you grew up to going to Tuscaloosa to play football. That had to be a shocker for you.
Yeah, all I knew was Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, maybe a little bit of Pittsburgh, and didn't give much thought about the rest of the world. It was football, basketball, baseball, golf, and some swimming. So if it wasn't for Coach Bryant, it would have been much more difficult. Coach Bryant had respect for everybody and showed it. And that carried over to the team. Coach Bryant made the world a difference.
Do you have any good Bear Bryant stories? I know the respect is there, but getting out and playing some golf with him.
It's awful. We had Steve Sloan and I got challenged by Coach Bryant and Gene Beebs Stallings. Well, we went out to Indian Hills Country Club in Tuscaloosa, and we're coming up the 18th hole even. We get on the 18th green, and the country club's just swarming with people to see Coach Bryant, man. This is something. We get up there on the 18th green. He's got a towel with some ice wrapped around his neck, got a couple guys helping he and his caddy out, gets on the green. His ball's 70 feet from the hole, 50 feet in the hole, but whatever it was, and you can imagine what happened. He rolled that darn thing in. It took about 10 seconds or 8 seconds to get, and made it, and won the match right there. He and I played in a couple of charity events over the years, and Arnold Palmer. We played with Arnold down in Montgomery. It was Coach Bryant, Coach Shug Jordan from Auburn, Arnold Palmer, and I was there.
Wow! And
from the tee all the way down the fairways, all the way behind the greens that we played, there were 10,000, people just jammed up to see Coach Brian Jordan and Arnold out there, man. And you talk about scared to death. See, I knew I couldn't play golf. It wasn't football. It wasn't rehearsing a lot of things. It was golf, man. And I was, but it was joyful.
Well, I know you're proud to be an alum of Alabama. I know you went back within about the last 12 or 15 years and got your degree. That's how much you respect the University of Alabama. When you look at some of their other sports programs, golf, Coach Jay Sewell, the men's golf coach there, winning national championships in 13 and 14. The women won a national championship in 2012. The likes of Justin Thomas have come out of Alabama. Do you ever spend any time around Coach Sewell or any of the Alabama golfers and talk shop?
We have a lot of fundraisers over at the University of Alabama, and we've had some golf outings, and the guys have come back to play. Justin and a lot of the players from Alabama. Jay Sewell, he's a buddy, and he taught Nick Saban how to play that game pretty good. Nick's a good stick.
It's hard to teach Coach Saban anything, I would think.
It's remarkable. He's a remarkable man, yeah.
Joe, hopefully next time I see you, it'll be in person. I'd love to hang out a little bit more. Maybe we can get out and play a few holes sometime.
Well, I don't know about that. I know you'd have to give me a lot of shots.
Come on. I've heard that talk before, Joe.
I will be open to some tips. You can give me some tips on what I can do there. I'm looking to learn, Charlie.
All right, you got it. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Joe Namath. He's the best. Thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you, buddy. Take care.
For more of this great conversation with Joe Namath, tune into the Charlie Rymer Golf Show next week on CBS Sports Network, or to listen to the entire interview, go to playgolfmyrtlebeach.com. Life isn't always an easy stroll down the middle of the fairway. You have to work at it. Sometimes you find victory. Sometimes you get kicked in the gut. Don't over-celebrate the birdies. And don't beat yourself up too much over the double bogeys. The key is to be focused when you get to the next tee. That's it for the Charlie Rymer Golf Show. Keep it in the fairway, folks. You know, that's a frog. It's got some legs on it. Now, if we catch anything, it's either going to be a tiger-headed minnow, or this time of year we get a lot of great white guppies here. You probably never caught a great white guppy, have you?
Great white guppy.
We're going to take a quick break from the Charlie Rymer Golf Show. Stick around, folks. How about that for a high-pitched, laryngitis-infested voice? We're going to take a quick break from the Charlie Rymer Golf Show. Today, I'm at TPC Myrtle Beach with our sound guy, Eddie. And we have Sir Nick Faldo, World Golf Hall of Fame member, riding with Rymer. Isn't that right, Eddie? Say something. The sound guy doesn't say anything.